Recording.
This
Okay.
meeting is being recorded.
That's new.
Whereas on March 10th, 2020, Charles Baker, Governor of the Massachusetts, and pursuant with Chapter 639, Acts of 1950, Section 2A, Chapter 17 of the General Laws, declared that there now exists in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts a state of emergency due to the outbreak of the 2019 novel coronavirus, COVID-19. And whereas many important functions of state and local government are executed by public bodies as the term as identified by General Law C30A 18 in meetings that are open to the public, consistent with the requirements of law and sound public policy, and in order to ensure active public engagement with contribution to and oversight of the function of government. And whereas both federal centers of disease control and prevention, CDC, and the Massachusetts Department of Public Health have advised residents to take extra measures to put distance between themselves and other people and further reduce the risk of being exposed to COVID-19. Whereas Section 7, 8, and 8A, Chapter 639, authorize the governor during the effective period to declare an emergency to exercise authority over public assemblies. It is with the necessary to protect the health and safety of persons. Whereas low-cost telephone, social media, other internet-based technologies are currently available, we will permit the conveying of public body through virtual means. So I am going to declare, as chair of the Contract Review Committee under Massachusetts law, that we are open. In discussion, everybody must be named, and to every vote, your name has to be complete in order for us to vote or to say we're here. Public bodies are hereby allowed to remotely participate. If we say the meeting will be open to the public, it will be open to the public today, as we do have a member of the public present.
I think it's just now identify the board
Yeah, I'm
members.
going to identify the board members and identify staff as in. So starting with Bert Johnson.
Bert Johnson.
Veronica McKenna.
Bolchik.
Oh, sorry. I
That's
saw
right.
the last name there.
Yeah, but it's double, but go by Bolchik.
Okay. John Balash.
John Balash.
Joanne Roach.
Joanna Roach.
I'm participating for the town.
Jericho Mealy.
Ann Medina.
Okay. And for the public.
Tara Steering.
Okay, everybody.
Okay.
I think that's good.
Yeah, that counts. Okay. Then
Okay, we're gonna put.
move to. There are no minutes to approve as of yet, and
Oh,
then
can I get an approval of the agenda as seen?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Bert,
Aye.
you have to say your name, actually.
Bert Johnson, yes.
Thank you. Veronica,
Yes.
Joanna,
Aye.
John Balash,
Aye.
I hear. Him? Thanks, I was just gonna pull it up. We have established that we have a quorum. We got the approval of general review, the 24 fiscal year 2024 packets.
So that's
And
basically.
then we're gonna do the,
Yeah, my bad.
okay.
I'm just all gung ho.
Jericho is really wound up about all that he's gonna present to you, and as he does, we will ask questions when he's done doing his presentation, okay?
Yeah, it's real quick. It's basically the same info about the packet as before. And then a couple of process revisions that Dorothy and I worked out in terms of who gets what in terms of proposals to evaluate. The master packet, as I said, has all the information in it. I'm mostly repeating this for the public record. Has all the information from the individual packets, all the financials and narrative responses, with the exception of Habitat for Humanity, which submitted not a budget, but an estimate on a project that they were supplying to us. Then the only things that are not in that master packet are the certificates of instruction and the sample, certificate of inspection, the 990s, and then the sample contracts. If anybody has any desire to see those, I can get digital or physical copies of those for you as well. Basically, it turns about 180 pages of paper into 6 to 30. So that's basically why we did it. Okay, and then that's basically it for me. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the legal thing. I don't get.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we can ask questions now?
Yes.
Okay, I have questions.
Okay, go on.
So ASAP, NAMI, and Nantucket Cottage Hospital is showing up as 0 requests.
Neither
Correct.
requested. NCH confirmed that they are not applying this year, and I do not know what went on with NAMI.
And
I've
what
asked-
about, also Gosnold is not on here.
Well, okay, so we're gonna go back. I did reach out to somebody at ASAP. I have not heard back yet. And on this one, Joanna, we don't usually see them on this one. We would normally see them on the other one if applicable.
For the marijuana tax.
Correct.
Do we want to announce anything
Yes.
about
Okay. So what is the total amount of, so our budget is more than 690, correct?
Our budget is 650,000.
It's 650. Okay.
Correct. So our budget for the contract review committee human service grants is 650,000.
And do we have an estimate of what the cannabis one will be?
Okay. Now that Joanna's asked this question,
that?
which Joanna, you've opened up a can of worms.
Sorry.
So no,
I just
that's
want to know
okay.
what we're dealing with.
No, it's good because I think you
Yeah,
it's right now, and best describing it is that Massachusetts laws have changed. And we are actually sitting through a webinar this afternoon. I'm sitting on behalf of the Contract Review Committee and the Cannabis Committee as we're trying to find out how those laws have changed and how they're going to affect the cannabis grant in the community. What it looks like is that there has to be a better breakdown of what towns actually use as a municipality towards the care of, towards
yeah, it's municipal expenses associated with dispensaries.
dispensaries and
Uh,
addiction, right?
no,
Like
so
hos-
I think this is the part that I'm familiar with. The revision around the laws about documenting municipal expenses and renegotiating the home
Host
community, the
agreement.
host community agreement, the HCAs. The HCAs, how the tax and municipal expenses interact and how that translates into our cannabis funding for this year is what we're going to learn about. It was a law that was written by lay people. There's a couple of legal opinions on it, and there's a big old webinar about it today. So bottom line is we don't know how this is going to interfere with collecting of taxes to apply to the substance use grant. So at the moment, the substance use grant is on hold, correct, until we figure this out.
Okay, so as of now, that grant, Joanna, can be on hold until February. Okay? So it's until it's in process and the town actually knows what's going on, we will not have any numbers, and the numbers could look completely different than what we've seen in the past. So
Okay, so a couple of questions about that. What does John Giorgio say?
We got the legal opinion that that was handed to me is
are you on?
the bottom line is we don't know exactly yet. There's a couple of things going on. There is we need to explicitly denote how much municipal expenses are associated with the operation of a dispensary on the island, or dispensaries, all include.
So how are they defining that, Jericho?
That is what that's what we're learning.
We're trying to find out today. We're going to find out about it today. It's the first webinar that they've had available. So everybody that's involved from the town will be on the webinar.
Okay.
And in addition, it's something that's going to be determined via litigation, most likely down the line too, which is why I think we're not wanting to go ahead with the cannabis grants until it's ironed out.
Okay.
Veronica, I saw your
Yes.
hand up.
I'll just make the statement once because it'll probably come up again. As new, I probably have questions that people know. So with the cannabis grant and the human services grants, are there the same organizations that historically apply for both?
I'll answer that is that our cannabis grant is now only in its second year. The first year was a very small amount. Second year was a much larger amount, like it doubled from anticipation. And those organizations, one is within our, this human service grant, and the other was and has not shown up in the human service grant.
Okay.
So I can tell you that in the previous cannabis grants, we had Fair Winds, we had Gosnold, we had NAMI, and we had
Addiction Solutions, but they
Addiction
pulled.
Addiction Solutions that pulled at the end. Okay. So Addiction Solutions is in there for their cannabis right now. I mean, not for their cannabis, for their
the
substance abuse program.
I have a question about that.
But let me make it clear before we go on. Until we see his presentation, we are not allowed to support a program that in any way distributes drugs through the human service grant.
in this case, Narcan and medically administered.
Not Narcan or
Narcan
anything that is administered for any drug that will be administered through his program, we are not allowed to do.
So that's like
And that's
Suboxone.
the ruling, that's
Yeah.
the rule, that's the legal
Naltrexone,
ruling on it,
Vivitrol.
okay? Because the implications to the town are too great.
There were liability issues to work out that I don't know if they have been.
No, they can't, we went through it 2 years, we went through it with Fair Winds a few years ago, and found out that they were giving Narcan, and we had to pull the grant back from them because it had not been okayed, and it is not through legal counsel. We cannot be a part of that because of the liability to the town. Okay, so does that answer that, Joanna? And Veronica, does that help you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
remember,
I have
no
another
question's stupid, only the answer.
What about, so back to Tim Lefery and Addiction Solutions. One of the reasons we didn't fund him last year was because his financials were sort of not in order. And it may have been, correct me if I'm remembering this wrong, that he didn't have a 501c3 actually. So where are we at with that when this request came in?
Well, actually, I think he had it. I think the problem was that he was unwilling. We were not getting tax returns that he
Yeah.
could give us.
Was it
He couldn't give us
Yes.
any financials. It was not whether he was a nonprofit. It was that he did not have tax returns. But we will. I can pull that right now.
Is that because he wasn't filed as a 501c3?
Oh, I just was curious because, that came out at such a last minute that if we're going to consider him, we might as well know up front if he can meet the requirements.
Right. Well, he got the finances into us this year. I'm checking right now because I do have the full packets in front of me.
This meeting is being recorded.
What just happened?
We just did it again.
You know what I think, you remember you said you were having trouble logging in.
It just
over there?
logged you out
Yeah,
over
just
there.
logged her.
Oh, okay.
And
Passed over the host to chat.
No, there
The
is.
only,
I
so
have them here in my hand, so if you just give me 1 minute.
the line item budget's right there,
Yeah.
which is a projected one.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while you're looking for that, Dorothy, one of the other questions I have, is there anybody else who applied last year that isn't on this list, other than the ones we've already talked about?
I think it's the only ones who did not apply this year are the three that we met, Gosnold, NAMI, and NCH. On the NCH topic, the behavioral health transport thing that they were funding through CRC was added to an ongoing line item budget by the state. So that is now being reimbursed at the state level.
That is
Which is what-
incredible news. That is really incredible news.
It's great, but it was being reimbursed, as we found out. So this is just now, it's become a permanent budget item. Isn't that fabulous?
That is a miracle. Okay, wow. I have one other thing, which is on the list of the FY24 amount requested. It would be really good if next to that, there was a column for 23 awarded, right? So that we could compare.
I think she's gonna send out a full one. Today, the one that we have here is just actually out there so that we can all put in who's monitoring each event.
Are we supposed to be making decisions based on last year's funding levels?
No, it's just sometimes it helps people to know what we funded over the years.
Okay.
And just so you know, within the packet that I have from the Department of Treasury, a thing that does say he's a 501c3.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. So just for me personally, when I come to pick up John's packet, which I could do today, or I could do it tomorrow, can I get a copy of the 990s from all the organizations that applied?
Sure. Yeah, I got that.
That way I don't have to look them up.
Okay, were there any other questions on?
And maybe Jericho. I don't have any other questions now.
How can that be?
Yeah, she doesn't have any more questions.
Just any more questions? Does anybody else have questions? No? Okay, so we're gonna go through to the assignments of the different programs. Oh, you have it. I'm sitting here wondering what the heck that thing that he has
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
hand.
But the assignment one's right there, the assignment sheet.
I know that. Okay, so the process is gonna go that everybody's gonna be assigned 3 of these. Your job is to read them, come back and present it to us. Our job is to read them and ask you questions. Questions that then we will then be ready and prepared to ask of the organizations when they come in to sit down. So I'm gonna go from starting at the top. We have a safe place. Veronica, you've never been to the safe place. Do you know much about it?
No, I don't, but I
Okay.
will learn.
I think that would be a good one. I think you would like that.
Okay.
I'm going to give that to Veronica, and I'm going to give that to Linda Williams because she always loves to see where they're headed. And you want to do it first? I've done it every year. Do you want to do safe place?
Yeah, I can do it if anyone else wants to do it.
Well, your job is to read it. You got to read it. Okay. Then you just got to read their packet, and then you got to present it to us so we can ask you questions. We have to read it to ask you the questions.
Are the cliff notes for this?
No. So get
that
in
is
it.
the Cliff Notes.
You're gonna have to write the Cliff Notes.
Okay. Elderly Services of Cape Cod. Bert, you want to do that one again?
Sure.
John?
Sure.
I'll do that one. 2. South Coast Legal Services. I'm going to give it to my 2 lawyers to read. And I'll read that one too. Okay, Interfaith Council. I'm gonna give that to Joanna.
Yes, please.
Veronica?
I'm going to say no on that because I spend a fair amount of time at the food pantry, and I
That's
don't know, I don't know if I could be completely objective.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Linda just got that. And I'll come up with the third. Health imperatives.
I will do that one.
Okay, fabulous. Joanna, do you want to do that one? You have, oh, she's
Yeah,
not there.
she said she was going to, health imperatives?
Yeah.
She said I think she's.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Health imperatives?
Yes,
Joanna?
yes, health imperatives.
Okay, Martha's Vineyard Community Services. I'm definitely going to do that one.
They always have something.
I love them.
They'd only change their name.
They're not going to change it, I promise you. Hey, Veronica, you want to do that one? It's a great part of the community.
Sure.
Okay, we've already hit 3 with some people.
Can we do more than 3?
We can do more than 3. We're going to have to because we don't have people here. I'm going to put Linda on Fair Winds because she's adamant about that.
Absolutely.
Anybody else want to do Fair Winds?
I will.
Joanna?
Yeah.
Okay. Small Friends. Bert. Anybody else? Veronica?
I can do that.
Okay. Artist Association. I will do that one.
I will do that one.
Okay, great.
I'm spending time over there at the moment.
Oh, good for you.
You becoming an artist now, John?
That is not likely, but maybe I could have some pretty amateur attempts.
That would be awesome. I can't wait to see it.
You may never get there.
I don't know. If we go on a tour, I'll find it. Sherburne Commons. I would like to do that just because I would like to see what they're up to.
That is
do
for a
that.
Memory Cafe grant.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
John, you want to do that?
Yes, I do.
And anybody else? Sherburne Commons?
I'd like to.
Veronica.
And that is a grant for a memory cafe for dementia and Alzheimer's.
I think it's going to be very interesting.
That they hold downtown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna be holding it downtown.
It's really
Yep,
cool.
at the community school.
I read the thing.
So it's a joint effort by the community school and Sherburne Commons.
Great.
I just
Did the
have to
community
remember to
school put
go.
in for it too with just the Sherburne Commons?
So the program will be administered by community school staff, but they didn't have a 501c that was on mission for an elder focused program. So they partnered with Sherburne Commons. Sherburne Commons is the 501c, the pass through basically.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Rachel was working on this since like 2015, I think.
I know. That's why I can't wait to see what it's. I love that girl. Addiction Solutions.
Yeah, right.
I definitely am going to be a part of that one. Sorry. Anybody else? Addiction Solutions? I didn't get any hands up on that.
Another one we dump on Linda?
Linda's on it with me. Bert Johnson, I'm putting him on there because he has
I've already
to.
got 4 here.
I don't give a damn.
You're
And we are going to
overburdening
have
me.
one other member.
We will have another member, and if so, I'll break it down. Habitat for Humanity.
I'm happy to do that.
And the Habitat for Humanity program is for an HVAC renovation on one of their houses. It's that's the one I'm waiting on some financials for.
It's for an air conditioning system?
It's an HVAC renovation of an existing building, I think. program was for 20K to install a HVAC revision in an existing home to bring it up to code, I think.
I wish Linda was here. She's the,
Oh, she's on the committee or whatever.
no, the town one that gives out the money for buildings and stuff.
Oh, CPAC,
CPAT, CPC?
Community
CPC,
preservation.
CPC, community.
Okay,
But she knows the regulations.
Okay. so everybody, your assignment is to read that. In our next meeting, everybody's assignment is to read it. The next meeting is for us to come back and be able to answer questions for everybody and for you to be able to present to us what they're asking for before they come in the door.
When's our next meeting?
We haven't done that yet because not enough of you were here.
Yeah, and we do need to get the sign off on the, we get the sign off on the quarterlies too. Because we have the quarterly reports. we need to
Right,
read.
but we already sort of went over, everybody's looked at this packet that he sent you on the format? This one? The other thing that I wanted,
Yeah,
it doesn't
format
say
review.
that's there, format and review, but I'm throwing this under review because it basically is
The rubric stuff.
a rubrics that Veronica and Tara, you both worked on this together, right? And that's, you got that piece of paper, it was did they all get it? She sent
I
it out.
sent it out, yeah.
Ann sent it out this morning to everybody.
Okay. Can I,
Hold on one second and I'll allow you to do it. I'll allow you to make any comment. I just want to make sure that everybody received this. We sent it out in the email this morning. We're just going to discuss it today and the content of it because some people were not at the meeting and did not know that we were doing this. So this is a document to help us streamline our process on grant applications. And Veronica, because you are the mastermind with Tara and Tara is a public body, she will get to speak after you. I'm going to allow you to speak about this, okay?
okay, thank you. That is a draft, and Tara and I just had the opportunity yesterday to connect. And over the next week and a half, that will be revised. As I said, it was a first draft, and Tara and I will collaborate on this to produce a document that will be shared at our next meeting that hopefully will be adopted to be used to aid this process. So what you got this morning is a very, very rough draft. So it's not final at all.
No, and I sort of knew that, but what a lot of members don't like is being told that something's out there and not having a document in front of them or something they can see to base off what we're discussing. So that's why it was sent out this morning, because I didn't want everybody saying, what are they talking about? They can pull it up and see it now that you've presented that, and you can possibly get feedback from people along the way
Okay.
on how they feel about it. Okay, and Tara wants to speak, so I'm gonna let Tara speak as a public body right now.
No, I've reiterated everything that Veronica has said, but I would just ask that because it's so early in a draft that we hold on comment until at least people have the opportunity to see kind of the next iteration.
Oh, we will hold on comment. We're gonna wait for Veronica, but it gives them a chance. I mean, somebody could read it and write to you and say, what about this? That might be out of it, that could be in it, you know, and I think that's important to get feedback. Also, any document we have becomes a public document and it is out there. And so it henceforth went to every board member because it is a public document with our committee, okay? So that if somebody said, hey, what about this? Somebody could say, hey, I know it's going on. We're waiting to see what's happening with it, okay?
Thank you.
I think
Yes, Joanna.
I think it's a great start. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I jump to quarterly reports
Yeah.
and then go to set up meetings?
Yeah, I don't think the order of events is determined.
Okay, we're gonna go to quarterly reports. I do have one comment to make on quarterly. Do you have any comments to make on quarterly reports?
Hmm?
Do you have any comments to make on quarterly reports?
No, and is there like, we were trailing a couple of them, but everybody like,
They're all in now.
they're all in. Who was like first and last? Can you remember? We were waiting on,
I think Elder Services was first, but then they were missing a few pieces. Who was last? I can't remember who was last.
and we got the updated the additional financials from Elder Services we were waiting on. And then, okay, I think that's basically it.
They're asking for theirs all up front though.
Elder Services.
Okay, and this is something that I've actually had conversations with the finance director over. And we are not supposed to give one payment at any given time for a contract because they want to know the contract is going to be withheld throughout the year. And in speaking to them, I reminded him that we had had a conversation, he and I, last year about this one, because that was a question I had about whether or not we can make this full payment. The only one that fits into being able to actually get a full payment is going to be, unless we make changes to the contracts, each individual contract, would be Meals on Wheels, Elder Services, because it is less than 10% of their operating budget for what they provide for us. So
The additional comment that I got in discussion with Rachel was that there's no rule that requires the money to be evenly split amongst all 4 quarters. It needs to be work that is done and invoiced in that quarter. So if 80% of a program's annual budgets are initial startup money, then it is acceptable as long as they invoice on their first report to that effect. We can pay out, we don't have to split it up 25, 25, 25, 25. It can be split up in any way as long as the documentation for that report supports that money being spent during that time period.
okay, so we have 2 different opinions going on about it.
They're not contradictory because we're not allowed to we're not allowed to pay for things that we have not received, be they goods or services.
Right.
But the quarterly expense process does not necessitate a 25%, 25%, 25, like a quarter breakdown for each one of those things. If they do more work, they serve more people, they have more initial overhead at the beginning of the year, then it is acceptable as long as they invoice and report properly
For each semester, for each
Yes.
period of time.
Yes. So if they're hiring somebody and they have larger number of events in the wintertime than they do in the summertime, then we can pay out according to when they're providing goods and services. And we can, if it's heavy infrastructure cost or if there's a initial upfront investment required for a program, we can pay out more. We just can't pay out 100% on the first of the first quarter. Because they want to be having services ongoing throughout the entire
We want
year.
ongoing services throughout the whole time. Can we get that wordage clarified by both finance department and?
That was just the old admin position on this stuff.
Right, I understand that. But I think that, because that's sort of what we went by was a conversation I had with both of them
We would need
over that.
we
But I
need an
think,
official policy both from finance and from admin on that. Otherwise, we're kind of working on the wiggle, like we're wiggling on that.
because I got that phone, I would like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask for a formal one for us so that we know exactly where it stands in regards to that, okay?
And common sense would dictate that you wouldn't pay for it till you got the service.
I mean,
Right,
if
but
it's,
so the elder services, we definitely, with it being 10% of it, if they put it up for purchasing food, we're still getting the service throughout the year. We know that. We know that we're not supporting, the whole program. So they're not taking that money. We're supporting hardly any of that program in reality, right? In the services.
Can I ask a question?
But in some of the others.
Is there some sort of state finance law about this? Or is
I
this
don't
just a practice?
I got a phone call telling me that they wanted to talk to me about it and were pretty upset that we had even thought about doing that. So I want to find out exactly what the laws are about it. Joanna?
Just because in the grant world, right? I mean, because I apply for a lot of grants and get a lot of grants. Most of them, we get the money right up front, right? And we still have to follow a reporting structure. And if there's any changes to what we initially asked for, we have to report the changes. But for the most part, we get the money up front. The only grant that we have to submit invoices for as it goes along is from the NSF, right? That's the only grant. Everything
so
else.
I think
comes
we
direct.
just have to find out because it's a municipality grant, so maybe
Yeah,
there's something
But
different
that's
to
what
it.
I'm saying. I would just ask the town council, like, just go directly to the lawyer.
Ooh, we got a question from Veronica.
Okay, I've got a
Veronica?
question. I've got a question on the Fairwinds quarterly report. They are requesting that $5,800 from last year is going to be applied. Is that customary and is that allowed? A carryover?
Sliding scale rollover.
Is not allowed.
There
We
was,
don't, the money, any money that isn't used
goes back in the
goes
revolving.
back into the general fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's right on the invoice total is 48, and they said, please use 5893.56 from last financial year.
Make a note of that. We'll follow up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because they got paid, they would have requested the money and would have
You
received
paid
it.
everybody out at
Right.
the end of the year.
Yeah.
Last year.
Right, so
Good catch, Veronica. Good catch.
Yeah, thank you. But typically, the money, if it's not spent, it goes back into the general fund and there is no carryover.
That's
No.
There
correct.
was no carryover. If somebody doesn't use any of it, like we had one person get money, never touched it. We lost it, which we could have given to somebody else. And we tried to find a way to see if we could, and we couldn't.
And that one was like that's like a hard coded rule into town finances. As
Yep.
soon as the fiscal year ends, unassigned money goes directly into the general fund, cannot be reclaimed.
Yeah, I'm used to the world of if you don't use it, you lose it. So that's what I thought would be here.
Okay,
Am I in the hot seat? I am in the hot seat this year,
you are.
with the camera.
You are in the hot seat. Thank you. I'm very happy that you did that for me.
Well, it's got you next to me, so
Be quiet.
we got a little blur going there. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna. I was wondering if that was Erica. Sorry, everybody,
For the speech we
for the speech.
where were we?
We were going over all the
Quarterlies.
quarterly reports.
So that was a Fairwinds question about a rollover.
Mhm.
You're going to follow up on that, right, Ann?
Okay, let's go one by one. Martha's Vineyard Community Service is asking for 3506 out of their grant. Can I get an approval to pay this?
Yes.
Second,
Roll call.
Roll call. Joanna,
Aye.
Bert,
aye.
John,
Aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
Dorothy, aye. How come we didn't get them all in one thing?
I don't know.
Get what in money?
The
All the
quarterlies.
quarterlies.
So you want me to put the quarterlies in a single document?
No, we get them usually with all attachments in one.
What I did was I put a blank piece of paper in between each one so it wouldn't all run together.
It didn't run for me. Okay, rental assistance is asking for $21,271.08 in this quarter report. Do I get an approval for this?
So moved.
Okay, Joanna,
Aye.
Aye.
how to say your name?
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
next one. My favorite. Meals on Wheels.
And
Am I
they,
probably allowed to say that?
Meals on Wheels?
Meals on Wheels is
Yeah.
my favorite, one of my favorite ones. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say
No, you
that.
can't, I don't think you
They're
can say it.
asking for 21,000. I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna get a verification on this today.
Do we, I think we should,
Can we approve it along, as,
Pending.
pending
Review.
approval by, town government,
I think
i.e.
if you,
legal.
if you ask for a motion to approve pending process verification, should be fine.
So moved.
Second.
You gotta say your name.
Bert, aye.
Joanna,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
thank you, guys.
What did we just do?
Because so we just did Meals on Wheels.
So we did Elder,
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull them all up because they're not in one document.
or one email.
Yeah, I don't have them in one email, so I have to pull up every single email for them.
Okay, I thought I sent it all out in one email. I just put the piece of paper in between so it wouldn't.
No, I just got it in. And this one doesn't,
That's just their brochure.
it's just their brochure. I didn't even get their thing.
Oh, that's the,
It came out in a separate email.
I can go get them.
Stay.
oh, you found it?
I think I found it.
Oh, she found it.
And you found it?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Fair Winds, which we are gonna hold,
For them to revise.
We're pending the question on rollover.
pending the question on
And let's
rollover.
get that question ironed out right now. We're wondering why 58 instead of? It was the previous amount from last year, so we wanted verification on that. I just want to get the question nice and well formed here.
Well, the question is that they're asking for 48,225.59 using 5,893.56 from last fiscal year. There should be no rollover from last fiscal year, and according to what we know, they've been paid and complete. So in actuality, if you subtract the 48, what are you doing?
There's another section of that. Can you scroll down a tiny bit? Up. Go ahead and fund flex. Please be sure to mention this flex on your next regularly scheduled report. I'm sure your members are well aware that this was discussed beforehand. So they did discuss this ahead of time.
Go ahead with funding flex, but please be sure to mention this flex on your next regularly scheduled report, and I'll ensure the CRC members are aware of this. What is the flex, Jericho?
Flex was rearranging when they were going to spend money on something. So I'll follow up on this with them.
Okay, I'm gonna take Fairwinds out of it until we,
I think we can.
until we hear, because I can't approve fiscal funding from last year.
No, so approved pending process should be okay because it's the same question. I'm just going to ask what the flex was and what the situation was.
But were we allowed to say, we're not allowed to carry money from one year to the next?
So we don't know exactly what the flex is. I'm going to find what the context of that is and reach out to them, which is exactly the same thing we just voted to do.
With what, the other one? We just.
No, with the motion that was entertained for approving of Fairwinds pending pending the acceptance process.
Okay.
That way, we've already got the vote necessary if it is allowed.
Did they not get all their money? I thought when we met, I was told that everybody got their full amount when we met going into this year.
Everybody got their full amount.
But this is failings.
Okay, let's go on. We're gonna go on to NAMI of Cape Cod. NAMI of Cape Cod is asking for 40,285. Can I get an approval of that?
So moved.
Second,
Thank you. Go.
Bert, aye.
Joanna,
aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
John Balash.
Stepped out of the room.
John,
I'm back.
now, quick.
Mother Nature calls, you know?
You're so visible on camera. I'm so glad you're there.
What was, didn't Brooke have a rule for this last year? Didn't she say we had to say we were going on a bio break?
Yes, a bio break.
Oh, pardon me. I had to take a quick break.
Okay.
I did hear, I did hear what we were talking about, and I do say aye.
Okay, just say your name, please.
John Balash.
Thank you very much. The next one is for the snack program. And the summer program at Small Friends, they're asking the invoice total is $18,146.41. And that is, if I am correct, due to the fact that most of it was for their summer program. And that's what they're asking for. And it is, you can see that in the breakdown here. Can I get a vote on this?
So moved. Bert,
Second,
Okay. Bert,
Bert, aye.
John,
aye.
you got to say your name, please.
Oh, John Balash, aye.
Joanna,
Aye.
Joanna.
Aye. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got to say your name.
Oh, Joanna Roach, aye.
Veronica,
Veronica, aye.
thank you very much. Veronica, do you know Small Friends? That's going to be a good one too.
A little bit, but I'm looking forward to learning more about all of these organizations.
This is Safe Place is requesting 15,125 out of their $70,000 grant. Do I get a motion for this?
So moved. Bert,
Aye.
Second.
Second, yeah.
Veronica,
Aye.
Bert, aye.
No, I am bio breaking.
Veronica, you have to say your name.
Veronica, aye.
Thank you. John,
John, aye.
Joanna,
Joanna, aye.
thank you.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet you. That's all that's inside this packet here.
Looks like Linda's trying to get in. She's in the waiting room.
Oh,
Oh, let her in.
Linda? We'll probably won't see her face.
Hey, Linda. It looks like we did them all, right?
You see all the vouchers?
I think so. Did we approve all the vouchers?
my refrigerator just blew up.
Health imperatives, where's that?
Oh, I love it.
Fairwinds.
I didn't have health imperatives.
No,
We'd like to approve JFK.
Mommy, Small Friends, Safe Place. No, health imperatives, and I don't know who else.
I don't have health imperatives here.
Oh, you don't have?
Did you come look at my computer? I don't have health and credits here.
No, it won't be later.
Do you do from and Gina?
Bye, Tara.
Bye, Tara. It was nice meeting you.
Bye, Tara. Thank you.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah. And now that's officially entered in the public record.
Yes. Officially, I can never say anything bad.
You're now, from now on, you are tied. You will be citing this.
I will be citing that she is a nice lady. I found some art association.
Is that
Sorry,
the
it was
big-
in another email.
That's the big PDF with all, this should be all in that PDF file, I guess.
Invoice total is $2,052. Do I get an approval?
I
So
approve.
moved.
Joanna?
You need a second?
I got a second from Veronica, I believe.
Okay,
Yes.
so Joanna, I.
Veronica?
Veronica, I.
John
John,
Balazs?
aye.
Bert, aye.
Okay.
Linda, I.
Hi, Linda.
My refrigerator blew up this morning, and so we've been moving stuff around and trying to get the stuff out of the ice box and shut it off and defrost it. And it's been a nightmare for an hour and a half. It looks like a Niagara Falls in the freezer,
God bless you.
and it's frozen, all of it,
Oh.
top to bottom.
Health Imperatives is asking for 33,217. Do I get an approval for this?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, Linda,
Yep.
you gotta say your name, please.
Yes.
No, say your name, Linda, I.
Linda, I.
Bert,
Bert, aye.
Joanna,
Joanna, I.
John Balazs,
John, aye.
Veronica,
Veronica, I.
I think, that covers them?
So what do we go through?
I think we got them all.
Who's just
Health
double check?
Imperatives, Artists Association, Safe Place, Small Friends, NAMI,
We did legal services.
Legal Services. Rental assistance, but no food pantry.
No,
Is
we
that-
did food pantry.
It's under IFC, right?
Yeah, we did it under 21,271.08.
Oh, because you just said rental, so they,
Oh, it's the whole thing.
okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So pending those other two, further investigation.
So the Fairwinds follow up on flexing, and then what was the second thing we needed to get?
The second was, we're just trying to find out from,
Carryover.
That was the Fairwinds thing.
and we're trying to find out about full payments.
Oh, yeah, so Fairwinds and full payments.
Okay.
So we got, okay.
Okay, so now if we could all look at a schedule.
Or calendar, because I'd like to have a quarterly meeting around when each quarter ends to do this for each payout each quarter.
Well, we have to get, is everybody available next Wednesday, the 16th? 10 o'clock?
So 10 o'clock is not a good time for me.
What time's good for you, Joanna?
I mean, I could do it on Wednesdays at noon.
I can't do Wednesdays at noon. I've got a commitment every Wednesday at noon.
I could do it anytime really in the afternoon. I just have a standing 10:30 meeting that I canceled today.
Okay, so
Like-
could we, how many people are available for 1 o'clock on
Wednesdays?
Wednesdays?
That's really bad for me because I work all day.
Yes, so don't I. So we're just trying to,
How long is that going to go for? Because I have to come home because I have a flip phone. So I have to find some place to put my
oh, you
computer.
can come visit us.
Yeah, you can just come to the trailer, which we're holding the hybrids.
Those are really bad for me, but go ahead. Middle
Okay,
of the
so,
day are always bad for me.
well, middle of the day is always bad for everybody, but we've got this for about a month of middle of days. So does one, Her face is so funny on the screen. I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I should have said that.
I'm staying on my desk.
Sorry, I hope everybody got a laugh.
I've been doing, it's been on me the whole time,
Oh,
so.
I love you, Ann. So it's November 16th, 1 o'clock. Do we have an okay for that?
Right now, it's okay.
Reluctantly.
Okay. John, does that work for you?
I think so, yes.
Veronica, does that work for you?
Yes, it would.
And Joanna, that works for you?
yes, it does.
Okay. So November 16th, that is when we'll do presentations. Let's try to do 3 of them. At
Yeah,
least
how
3,
long are we trying
maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure
Maybe.
Linda knows what
Are you
she's.
talking about the presentations by the applicants themselves?
Nope, it's gonna be, everybody's gonna, let's make this a 2-hour meeting,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, boy.
Yep, and this is gonna be a big one, because what it is Linda, this is where everybody's has a few of these they're assigned to, they have to read them. We all have to read them, but they have to read them, present them to us, and we are gonna ask questions of you guys prior to going into meeting with everybody. And
So are
that-
we gonna have, they're gonna be coming before us themselves and making a presentation, correct?
They are. This is just for us right now, so that we know that everybody sort of read it and has a good idea of what's in front of us. And if there are questions that have come out from people asking, we can get those questions put together before people come and sit down with us. So
Have we
that's
already
November.
assigned these?
I did. Well, you weren't here, so wait till you find out what I gave you.
All right, what did I have?
All the good ones.
You got all the good ones. Hold on a minute.
yeah.
Let me just get a confirmation. We have an I for November 16th at 1 o'clock.
Second.
No, that's everybody's has confirmed
yeah,
that they
okay.
can do that. I don't
That's,
think-
we don't have to make a vote for the next time. Yeah, no, sorry.
No, we just
We
have
don't
to
need a vote for
set the
that.
time and place. And the next one, I would love to do is, could everybody do early morning on the 21st, a 1-hour meeting for anything we've missed, and then set up a schedule for participants for after. When do we want presentations, everybody? First week in December?
Oh,
No,
God.
I got
That's not
scroll.
gonna work for you and I either, because we got the house tour.
Oh, I've got work commitments too with the women's. So, can we do presentations, giving the bodies enough time to do it the week of the 12th? Does that work for you?
I mean, I can, a week of the 12th of December.
12th of December, the 12th and the 14th, and then possibly the 19th?
I believe that should work.
Is those dates okay with everybody? 12th, 14th, 19th?
So we got-
Depends on what time.
Well, that's what we're gonna discuss. I just need to know if the dates work, and then we'll discuss times.
11/21, 12/12, and 12/1.
14, what was it? You said 12, 14, 19, yeah?
12, 14,
What-
12,
No, it's
14,
11,
19.
16. Or
What?
11, 16.
11, 16.
And then it goes to.
I'm gonna put the dates in the
December
chat.
12,
Okay,
14.
we're not doing the 12.
Okay, thank you.
11, so we're looking at the
What
first
time are
date.
you thinking on Monday, the 21st, Dorothy?
Hmm?
What time are you thinking on Monday, the 21st?
I'm fine with any time. If anybody wants to put up a time.
How about 11?
God, that's even worse. All right.
Well,
Okay,
I
11.
could do any time.
Veronica, does 11 work for you?
I'm completely flexible.
Okay, great. John?
I'm on all proposed dates, I'm totally flexible.
Bert?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Unless I have some other appointment come up.
Okay, so on the 21st, we'll go for 11 a.m.
So that's November 21st. So-
November 21st, 11 a.m.
November 21st?
Yes,
Yes.
So I thought that was off the table, but now it's back on.
it's on the table.
11/21 at 11.
The 16th is
The
1 o'clock.
16th at 1 o'clock, the 21st at 11 a.m. Then
Yep.
you're jumping all the way to the 12th. You're
Of
doing the 12th, the 14th, and the 19th.
Correct.
Okay.
What
And
time?
Those will be interviews with participants the 12th, the 14th, and 19th.
If you want to start you want to start those interviews at 9 o'clock in the morning, that works.
I'm fine with that if that works for everybody else.
It
That's
doesn't
when
work. It does not
See,
work.
that's what the CPC does them. They start them at 9, we're out by 11.
Yeah, I can't do that. I already have meetings scheduled for 9:30 and 10:30 all those days. I could do noons
I can't.
for people's
I have,
lunchtime.
I have implants on the 12th and I have housing authority on the 14th at 2.
Likewise, we need to make sure that this account and this room is free during some of those times for if they're
Yeah.
pre-scheduled
Right.
appointments.
Well, we're going to try to find out. So Linda, what was it? What was the other committee meeting you had on the 14th?
Well, I have two implants on the 12th.
Yeah,
And on the 14th, I have housing authority at 2 o'clock.
at 2 o'clock.
I have that too.
What
Yeah,
if
but
we,
we're talking about, and Joanna, you're not available till what, noon?
yes. I mean, I could do 11:30.
What about the 14th? Can you do 9 o'clock on the 14th?
No,
Oh, boy.
I'm just booked up. What about doing late in the day? What about like 4 o'clock?
Well, that's not going to work on that Monday for me at all, but it would on the 14th and the 19th. I don't care about those days, as long as it's not around 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Well,
On the-
I'm fine with 4 o'clock as long as that works with Anne because she is a paid staff. I don't know what time her day ends. So
We can flex your hours if you want to come in late.
the 14th, 19th, we can try for the 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Veronica?
Yes, it does.
John, does that work for you?
What, the 14th and the 19th?
Yes. December.
Yes, yes, it does.
Check.
We're
At
going to
4
try to
o'clock.
cover everybody. And Bert,
Hold on.
we're going to double check these dates with Erica.
And because I don't know if we can get people to do work stuff after 4.
Oh, when it comes to money, they can do it.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, we're
The
not
12th
meeting in the high school. We're meeting at the ugliest building in Nantucket. Nobody really cares.
HDC approved, what are you talking about?
The 12th. Can we aim for the 1 o'clock on the 12th?
Sure. 1 o'clock on the 12th? Great.
You may not see me.
Okay, well, we're going to hope that you come.
Well, not if I've had surgery that day.
Come on, I just had 4 implants 3 days ago.
I've had 4 already.
God bless both of you.
That's-
And then we're going to take a hiatus until January. And what if we give the town 1 week to get over
New
the
Year's.
new year? And we'll go into meetings on January 9th and 11th for deliberations.
Planning board is on the 9th. What
Okay.
time on the 9th?
I don't know. I'm going to go with people that have work schedules. You and Joanna. Joanna, I mean, I have one too. What are we talking about?
Monday the
9th,
9th?
I don't actually, I have to look at my calendar. Hold on here.
Can we just wait to look at that?
Yeah, could we
next
wait?
meeting?
Yeah, could we wait?
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
We can wait until the next meeting if everybody
Yes,
can look and
that
see
would
what
be
they have for January.
That would be great.
Totally awesome.
Next meeting is currently going to be scheduled for 11/16.
11/16 at 1 o'clock, if it's available. If not,
Let's,
It should be, because everybody else is still meeting by Zoom. Most of the other little groups that would meet in there are meeting by Zoom.
there's like 3 or 4 bodies that are meeting in here hybrid, so it's really unlikely there'll be a time conflict. So we should be safe, but it's a potential complication.
Okay, I'm going to just review a couple of things before we go, just so Linda knows. You got a document today of a Rubik's, which is in draft form. We just gave it to you so that you knew when we were talking about it, what it would be. Veronica will be back. She is working with a public member, Tara, on the Rubik's, and when they get it finished, it will be issued to Jericho and I, and then brought out to the committee for review for our next meeting. Okay?
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
So what am I doing?
Huh?
What am I
Nothing.
reading? Besides all of them?
You are reading Fair Winds,
Oh, great.
Interfaith Council,
I know them well.
Addiction Solutions.
Now, are we back to that again?
That's up in Addiction Solutions. There are some things I'm following up with legal about.
I'd rather not do addiction solutions. The boy that just died was one of my kids. So let's move on from there. I'd rather do something else.
Okay, so
I don't
Linda,
care
I'm
what
gonna
it
pull,
is.
Linda, I'm gonna pull you out of Addiction Solutions.
Yep.
That's fair.
I mean, I can do Safe Place. I mean, that I started Safe Place.
Actually, I'm not giving you a safe place. I'm giving it to people oh.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I did.
I think you did.
Yeah, she's-
Gosh. I'm giving you Habitat for Humanity.
All right, I started that too. Yay.
Should she be overseeing something she started?
Well, I don't think I think she was on the board. I was on the board too, Habitat. So, but that was years ago. A safe place, Linda. Are you interested in doing that one too?
Yeah. Is somebody
Okay.
else doing? I've got 4 here. Is anybody doing anything else?
Everybody's doing 4.
I got 5. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So is
I've
there
got
more than one of us? Am I doing Safe Place with somebody else, or am I these all
Yes, well, what you're doing is you're reading it. It's not about us going to, you're going
Right.
to read it, present it to us. You're doing it with Veronica and Bert,
Okay.
okay? Everybody has 2 people working with them. Except for you and I, Bert, we're going to be doing addiction solutions alone.
Probably the CHS person, double down.
I thought he wasn't applying again.
Well, this is,
You
It's a
did.
different part of it.
he applied, no, and I just need to find his overall request
Yeah.
is too vague right now.
Well,
And
this is the same as last year.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Yeah, according to what I was told is that we cannot support a program if it administers, if any one way the funding is going to administer drugs.
Yeah.
So I just need to get a verification from legal on that and a verification from Tim Lepre on that. And so I'll have answers to everybody, probably in an email that'll be sent out from me and Jericho
Yeah.
through to Ann to the board.
Yeah.
Okay?
And these will be read by next week. Let
By the
Dorothy do
16th.
it by next
No,
week.
we'll give you to the 16th to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, by next week.
Yeah, by next,
Wednesday.
yeah, so next
Okay.
week. I was looking at January going, what
Yeah,
is she
not-
talking about?
I don't know what month we're on now.
Anyway, okay? And we should have answers on all those legal questions
By
that
next
came up
meeting.
for everybody, and you should have it in front of you before the next meeting. Okay?
Okay,
So if you have discussions, it makes it easier for us.
Joanna,
If you, hold on.
yes,
If there are any, hold on.
go.
If there are any questions that come out from anybody, could you please email them to Ann beforehand and we can have answered for you for the next meeting? Everybody?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, Joanna?
And then real quick, Joanna, what time are you coming down for the packet or packets?
What time is it right now? 11:30, how about 12:30?
Okay,
I'm coming down at some point
What's
myself.
your address?
better. 131 Old Fire Station. Just come
Oh,
right in.
no,
the
I know
front door.
you. I know where to find you, Jericho. Where do I find John?
6 Farmer Street, which runs between Fair and Pine.
Yep,
is
I know
a
it.
two-way street, so you can come either way. And if you can just stop in the street, and if you either put it in my mailbox or walk it up to the side door.
Okay.
You never use the front door, because you step out my front door and you're
In the street.
in the street.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna
I'll-
come get my packet in a little while, as soon as I finish the icebox before the
just
guy
like
comes.
Oh, the icebox finishes you, Linda.
It's gonna kill me.
Okay. With that being
All right,
said,
everybody.
if we could get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Linda Williams?
Yep. Linda
I got
Williams.
it. Thank you. Joanna?
Aye.
Name?
Joanna, aye.
John?
John, I.
Veronica?
Veronica, I.
Bert?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Aye.
We just voted to end the meeting.
Oh.